Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word-of-mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Just as a friendly reminder to the audience, we put out a new show every single Monday, so make sure you give the notification bell a nice tap. Give it a nice tap so you don't miss a show. Joining me today is the nudist philosopher wizard making panties drop with the waving of his magic wand, call sign Cheeks. Cheeks, thanks for joining me today.
I always know you got some stupid shit to say when you're holding your phone.
How dare you? That is not stupid.
When you refuse to make eye contact with me because you know that you're about to say something ridiculous.
That's fake news.
Spread cheeks and not hate, folks. I'm happy to be here, Aaron.
Fucking A, man. So, all right, so check out this first story.
What is the magic wand?
It would be your dong. The magic wand of glory.
Magic wand?
Just wave it around, the panties go down.
There's not much magic that happens when I pull my little wiener out.
Disagree.
It's like a marble and a tumbleweed.
We are bottomless on the show today. So you know, we're waving our magic wands around.
I'm rocking an acorn in a bird's nest.
Shut the fuck up. All right, man, you ready for my first story?
Yeah.
All right, so we got ourselves an 82nd Airborne story, and if you know, these airborne guys are always maniacs, so it's always a pleasure to have these stories. This story takes place in the 1990s, right? You have a whole group of airborne that are out doing training, and they're staying out in the woods for about 4 or 5 days, and they're in, you know, not the best of conditions, right? They're sleeping on their mats on the ground. It's an area that has a lot of ticks, and they're waking up like picking ticks off them, a lot of bug bites, stuff like that, right? So it's not the best experience. So
you're always itchy.
Yes. And so, you know, they're waking up for the morning and just kind of getting things going. You know, they haven't had their first official time hack for that day. So everybody's just kind of waking up, getting ready. And there was this one big hillbilly looking guy, kind of had a toothless grin. He was sat on his sleeping bag mat and he was leaned up against a tree. Well, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, here comes over their lieutenant. You know, lieutenant's in a good mood. You know, he's talking to the guys. He's just being friendly, talking about, you know, stuff for the day.
Doing lieutenant shit.
Yeah, you know, he's not really going over business. You know, he's kind of doing like a nightclub act, if you will, or something like that. Just, hey, how you doing?
I'm gonna go over and build some rapport.
Like he's a greeter at a casino or something like that. Yeah. And you know, so this toothless hillbilly guy, we're gonna call him Dave. Dave's getting a little bit bored. You know, he's just kind of like, all right, you know, we got a little bit of time before our first iteration for the day.
And I don't want to waste it talking to the LT.
Yeah, I think that's what Dave is thinking. So he just kind of reaches into his pants and pulls out his Johnson, right? And he starts just whacking it. Now, apparently he had a pretty big hog too.
Oh.
I have to speculate that it was not hard, but I don't know that for sure.
Some people have boner on command.
Okay. So he pulls out his Johnson and he just starts beating it, right? And the lieutenant's not paying that close attention to what's going on. He's just kind of like, hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, good morning. Hey, you know, just doing his thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he happens to make eye contact with Dave and realizes what he's doing. He gets all flustered. He's like, doesn't exactly know how to react. So he just boogies back off. He's like, okay, you know, maybe this is too early to go
even address it.
Make contact. He just goes off to wherever. And Dave kind of like laughs, and then he just he puts his shit away.
What
and
a fucking maniac.
He leans back up against the tree, shuts his eyes, and goes back to sleep because they got a few more minutes until they actually have to start for the day. Yeah. So he's just like,
I'm going to enjoy myself just a little bit.
How far was he from the lieutenant that the lieutenant didn't know?
He was about like within arm's reach from what they said. So he was pretty close.
Oh my God.
Now, we can't recommend that people do this. This was the 1990s, so it was very much it was a different military at the time.
He's just sitting there smacking it just like a gremlin within arm's reach of the lieutenant.
Exactly, man. So,
oh my God.
I mean, nature finds a way. I think that was what they said in Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
You know, skunks, they put out a putrid smell if they want to be left alone. Well, apparently hillbillies realize if you just pull out your Johnson, most people are going to leave you alone. Now, that can backfire at some times because you never know like who's going to be into it.
That's true.
So you got to be careful. Again, we cannot condone this behavior.
No.
Don't do that.
But if you do, email us.
Some would call that harassment.
All right, we're not doing that again.
He was harassed. He was harassing his LT. How dare he?
How dare he harass the LT? That could be a poem.
That should be a poem.
We should have a poetry slam.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
That'll be up next.
All right.
All right, so what do you got for me, man?
So our next one, I'm getting excited about these Vietnam stories.
Yeah, man.
So
we get a lot of them.
We do, and it's awesome because we're retelling history. I said this on another show already, but we're retelling history, and it's so cool to talk to these guys and get their stories and
absolutely,
you know what I mean, and hear where they're coming from, right? Well, this is Murph.
We've had Murph.
We've had Murph stories before, right? Murph requested his own call sign because we said before he's got a big old alphabet name. Nobody can ever pronounce it, so we're calling him Murph. All right.
What's up, Murph?
So Murph was drafted in the Vietnam era.
Okay.
Right? And these guys didn't have like a choice of where they were going, obviously, or what their jobs were. And most of them knew, like, yeah, we're going into the infantry, right?
Right.
Well, he's in AIT, right, in the advanced infantry training.
Okay.
And prior to going to the military, he had a little bit of college, had some electronics knowledge, and kind of like a jack of all trades kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this specific thing they were doing like evolutions taking over a Vietnam village.
Okay.
So there's booby traps everywhere, and they have to go in and find them and stuff like that, and they put Murph on point.
Right.
Well, Murph, with his background, knowing some electronics, he finds the booby trap. He's like, oh, okay, boop, doop, 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 disarms it.
Disarms it, nice.
Goes to the next one, boop, doop, doop, disarms it, and he disarms it. They take over the village.
Okay.
All right, and they do it again that afternoon.
Right.
He's on point, like, hey, man, you did good last time. You're on point again.
Right.
So he goes in, finds the booby trap, disarms it, finds another one. They take over the village.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, the next day.
It's good training.
Yeah, the next day they're like, Murph, you did good. You're on point. One of the guys pulls him off to the side. He's like, hey, man, you know what they're doing, right?
Right.
Murph's like, no, what? Like, dude, I overheard one of the sergeants over there. They said you're pretty good at this shit. Like, they might send you to EOD, like the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit.
Yeah.
And Murph was like, nah, not me, dude.
Yeah. Shout out to those guys who have the aptitude for something like that, but that is dangerous fucking work.
No kidding. Well, Murph said that at that time, like before he was told this, he was just fat, dumb, and happy. He's like, I'm good at this. I'll keep doing this, right? They put him on point again. He gets told this from the other soldier, and he's like, no. Goes up to the first one, blows it up. He's like, well, all right, I guess we're not sending Murph to EOD.
You always have to be cautious of what you show that you're really good at in the military, because sometimes you can get eyeballed for something that just not your speed.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to have anything to do with this.
So needless to say, Murph didn't go to EOD training.
Good for Murph.
But Murph went on to tell us that through his time in the military and whatnot, he had collected things, right? And a couple of things that he had collected were like inert grenades.
Okay.
Like the training grenades, they have the hole in the bottom of them.
Right.
There's no ordnance
it's just
in
a
them.
shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after the military and became a little more seasoned, he became a firefighter, he tells us. Okay. And at this point, he was a captain of a department, you know what I mean? So he's fairly high up there, right? He's got his own office, and he's got these relics that are up there. And he said that after he retired, they took it, and his whole office basically, and took it to the Historical Society to preserve it, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Right? Well.
Nobody's preserving my office. Just
It'd be nothing but boner pictures and drawings. So he says that as anybody who knew anything about like military stuff, like they can look at it like, oh, cool, it's a fake grenade, right?
Right.
Well, he said that as they got younger guys in, they didn't know that they were inert and they were fake.
Right.
So he's sitting in his office one day and he sees a guy walk by, walks by again, like kind of speeds up his pace. He's like, well, what the hell's going on? Like there's no run that went on.
Did I say something to this guy? Did I offend him? Like, what's the deal
what
here?
did I do? Well, one of the other guys in the leadership comes up and goes, hey, Cap, sorry your office didn't get cleaned. You know, one of the new guys is scared.
Was he scared?
Scared? Like, what's he scared of? What's he scared of me for? He's like, oh, no, it's the grenades. Murph goes, well, I don't know why he's worried about them. They're not dangerous unless you pull the pin.
So adding a nice little troll on top of that.
He just trolls him,
Yeah, so, just to be clear, these are the kind that they got no explosives in them whatsoever. It's just a shell.
Yeah, so, but it was just hilarious because instead of putting this kid at ease, he just leans into it.
Yeah, well, who's not going to be afraid of like the Vietnam veteran that's got grenades and stuff like that? People are probably thinking like, that guy's got grenades in his office. He was in the war. I know they're live. You know, like they're thinking the worst.
I like to think that the first time he came into the office, that kid, I'd like to think that Murph grabbed the grenade and goes, here, man, catch.
Because you know they would do stuff like that to fuck with younger guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, welcome home, boys. As we always say, we love you. We love your stories.
Welcome home. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. So I got another one. I'll take the next one too. So this is in the 80s.
Okay.
Okay. And this is another character that we've had on the show.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to talk about Mason again.
What's up, Mason?
So Mason's the guy who slapped the shit out of the moped gang. He's an
guy's
animal.
A character, man.
He is. So he said that he had the same kind of experiences in basic training where everyone looks at him like, hey, can't you just fucking be normal, man?
No.
Like, just do some normal shit.
No.
Okay. Well, again, he's 6'7". He's got some stature to him, right? And he says he used to be a long distance runner.
Right.
So today was gas chamber day.
Okay. Now, would you explain what the gas chamber is so everybody's clear on that? Because it means a different thing if you're in prison or...
Yeah. Well, the gas chamber is about the size of a garage, maybe like a 2-car, 3-car garage, right? Yeah. It's a decent size, and they'll march soldiers in. They give you your gas mask. They teach you how to purge the mask to make sure you get all the bad air out and good air in and stuff like that, so you are comfortable with your equipment.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you breathe in this gas, it's CS gas, okay?
Right.
And when you breathe it in, it feels like charcoal is in your lungs, okay? It's miserable, absolutely miserable. And when you're in the gas chamber, people have snot running down their face. People will throw up. They're coughing. They can't breathe.
For those of the audience who might not know, CS is basically just tear gas.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a chemical irritant that's gonna mess with your eyes and it's gonna make your nose run and all this crazy stuff, right?
And Mason knew this.
Right.
And him being a long distance runner, he says, well, I could hold my breath for a long time.
Yes.
So I'm not getting got.
He's trying to beat the system.
Yeah. So right before he goes in, he holds his breath.
Oh,
right?
yes.
He goes in, he makes it the whole iteration.
Oh, God.
Right?
That's a few minutes, too.
Yeah, man. So, like, there's people that are, like, freaking out, doing the break dance, or crying and freaking out.
He's just standing there.
Yeah. And, like, what they'll have you do is they'll have you, like, pull off your mask and, like, say your name and last four and stuff like that, and then you have to purge your mask. Well, Mason doesn't have an issue with this because he's holding his breath.
Right.
Right when they start marching everybody out, he feels a hand on his chest, like, no.
These drill sergeants have been around for a while. Yeah. They know what he's doing.
Yeah,
they're like, no, bitch, you've got to go through it just like everybody else. You're not going to beat the system.
Yeah. So he gets back in. He's like, oh, no, I'm running out of breath. So he has to breathe. He inhales. He's like, well, this isn't too bad. And he goes to exhale. Feels the charcoal burn. He says that the snot started coming out of his nose. And he's 6'7", right?
Yeah.
And he says it came all the way down to his knees.
So he's got like 2 ropes of snot just dangling.
So he's got these big, long snot ropes hanging down to his knees. He's 6'7", so they're long, right? The drill sergeants are getting in his face like, we got you, motherfucker. We got you. Like, you stupid ass. And he's like, I'm going to fix this. He starts whirling this shit around like a lasso, right? Like he's a fucking rodeo clown. He said that the only thing that people saw was 2 boots and his ass getting thrown out of the gas chamber, right? He says the drill sergeant went up to him afterwards like, man, can't you just be fucking normal even in the gas chamber?
Of course he can't, man. That is some hilarious revenge, I guess. Like, and so I've run into characters like this.
Yes.
They don't give a fuck whether they get attention that is bad or good, but they love to be the center of attention. And Mason. They will troll the drill sergeants that. I can't imagine just whirling 2 snot ropes on the drill sergeant.
I'm sure they got the shit smoked out of them, but it made for a good story. So Mason's like, I'm going to do it.
Because he knows, I mean, you can't accuse Mason of not living life.
Right.
Man. That's fucking hilarious.
I dig it.
All right, so check out this next story. We got ourselves another 82nd Airborne story.
All right.
Man. These guys are maniacs, and I just love them to death. So let me set the table here.
I like tables.
We've got one main character. We're going to call him Derek. So Derek is 6'6", 275 pounds, and at this time, he is an E4, which means he's a lower enlisted guy. And this guy is a jacked motherfucker, right? So the 82nd Airborne were pushing from Kuwait into Iraq, right? And they were doing this in a convoy and Humvees and things of that nature. Unfortunately, Derek has got dysentery bad. I don't know if he had some like bad Camel burgers over in Kuwait.
Camel burgers?
I don't know if he drank the local water.
Get the fuck out of here, Camel burgers.
Something like that. The point is,
no, you can't just fucking roll that off your Camel burgers and then
you don't think that they make those? What else do they have in Kuwait,
I hate
man?
you.
All right, so the point is that he is sick as a dog. Like he's got it coming out of both ends, vomiting, shitting into what I assume is plastic bags on the way in, and they're convoying for hours, right? And he's just miserable, sweating, horrible experience for him. So about 2:00 in the morning,
Drink some water, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Just make sure you hydrate.
Yeah.
So at about 2:00 in the morning, it is a moonless night, pitch black. They roll into a fob, which has blackout conditions, which let's just pause right here. For those of you in the audience who don't know, a fob is short for forward operating base, which is basically just a postage stamp of a base that's in the middle of no fucking place. And they do not have the amenities of a built up base, right? You're having bare bones, right? So you can't count on all of the amenities of a regular base, right? So this happens to be really good for Derek because he's like, at least I can find a porta potty to shit in as opposed to these plastic bags that he's been using for something. So he's just like, okay, cool. I'm going to go find the porta shitters. It turns out this fob has 2 porta shitters, and it looks like guys are lining up to buy tickets to an AC/DC concert because there's just every swinging dick imaginable is lined up to go to the bathroom. He's like, fuck. Now, he's starting to get a little bit frantic here because there's not a lot of options for him.
Yeah.
He feels another iteration coming out of his ass, and he's like clenching with all of his might, and he's starting to get frantic. So just in a frantic decision-making process, he just kind of turns to the right, sees open desert, and he just sprints like as much as he can in his given condition. So he makes it about 200 meters, right? And he feels that the dam is about to burst. So in like one smooth movement, he kind of does like an about face, rips down his trousers, and just rooster tail of putrid diarrhea comes out and everything. Right under his ass, he hears, "What the fuck? Ah!" No! Now, mind you, they're behind enemy lines in a combat zone, blackout conditions, and he's in the open fucking desert. So he starts to panic, feeling the worst. Mind you, he is still shitting, right? So he kind of starts to take off running. His pants are around his ankles, so he's like able to only muster like a waddle.
He's doing a shuffle.
He's like able to kind of like waddle like he's a prisoner or something like that. And he gets tackled and he hears, "Come here, you motherfucker!" And then he's freaked the fuck out, understandably so. So he's able to like push off with his left hand and he throws one hell of a right cross and he feels it connect hard. And he hears, "Ah!" So then he pulls up his pants about another 3/4 of the way, and he just kind of runs back the way he came. He links up with his buddies, and one of his buddies just takes one look at him. He's sweating. He looks fucked up and everything.
God.
His buddy's like, "You look like shit, bro." Of course, you're not going to get any kind of sympathy from your military buddies, like no matter how miserable you are, right?
I've been shot at, miss, and shit at Ned.
Well, check this out.
Oh my God.
So they're shooting the shit for like a minute.
Yeah.
Out of the darkness comes this figure, and immediately 3 things are obvious. It is a friendly. This guy is covered completely head to toe in shit and a little bit of blood.
Oh, God.
And this guy's got a lot of stripes.
Oh, no.
Right?
Oh, no.
So this guy goes, "Which one of you motherfuckers shit on me?" Now,
oh, my head hurts.
Derek, being the eternal optimist, is like, there's no way he could figure that it was me, right? Because, you know, we're in blackout conditions. It's dark. There's thousands of people around. Maybe not thousands, but there's tons of people just standing around. So what are the odds? What are the odds that he picked me out of the entire crowd? Now, mind you, Derek is also 6'6", 275-pound jack dude.
Yeah.
So it's not like he necessarily blends in.
Yeah.
Right? But he's just like, there's a chance that he's identifying somebody else as being the culprit to this problem. So he doesn't move. He's just trying to play it off like him and his buddies were reading Bible verses or something like that. And he's just standing there completely innocent, right?
Which one of you motherfuckers shit on me?
Then he hears, "You! I know you hear me, motherfucker!" So Derek ever so slightly tilts his head to the left, and he realizes that the jig is up. This guy has identified him. Now, what he did not realize is his entire backside is covered in diarrhea. So not only does he stick out for being that size, but he's also covered in shit.
Oh, yeah.
So it turns out that out in the middle of the open desert, there was what he described as a leg infantry unit that was bedded down for the night, and they were in a cigar-shaped perimeter, right? And just by pure luck, he happened to sprint through all the outer perimeter guys, not tripping over anybody, and he went to the center of this thing and shit on the first sergeant and the commanding officer.
Oh, my God.
Right now, it's important to note that the first sergeant took about 85 to 90% of the spray. The commanding officer took a little bit less, but he also got some shrapnel. As you.
Oh, my God.
Now, it was an honest mistake, but he still did not get off the hook for this.
No.
It's not like he planned this. Now,
you can't go shit it on somebody and then get away with it.
Right? This is like hitting a hole-in-one on accident, right? Because he sprint through the center of this outer perimeter, not tripping over anybody, and back in blackout conditions when he couldn't even see where he was going, right? So Derek got a bit of punishment for this. There were several punitive damages that he had to, fulfill. And he also got put on porta shitter duty for 3 days, which means he had to take the waste and burn it, which is a nasty, nasty ordeal. It is not fun. You got to stir it. It's for those of you who are eating on your lunch break or whatever, we're not going to go into some gory details here. We'll spare you that. It's not fun. It is definitely a punishment thing. But let's also not sleep on the fact that they're at a FOB, so it's not like they have great showers or laundry facilities. Could you imagine if you were that first sergeant, you're trying to get a little bit of sleep, minding your own fucking business, and all of a sudden you just get sprayed with diarrhea?
Oh, my God.
I mean, and so the moral of the story is this is how Derek got the call sign Hot Carl. For those of you in the audience who might not know, the Urban Dictionary defines a hot Carl as when you take your beloved and cover their face with saran wrap and you take a poop on the saran wrap right now. So we're not going to be super technical here, right? It's close enough to that same act, but that's how you get an epic call sign, Hot Carl.
That is fucking
What are the odds? What are the odds?
I know. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. We love these kinds of accidents. Now, I feel bad for Sergeant.
No kidding.
I feel bad for Derek. I mean, this is not a good situation for him.
I want to hear, First Sergeant, if you're out there, I want to hear your rendition of this, man. Oh, my God.
Not only did he get diarrheaed on, but he also got punched in the face.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was too busy not breathing and laughing.
Oh, man. Just when things go so horribly wrong and everything lines up exactly perfectly for these kinds of stories, this is what we love. Now,
oh, Jesus Christ.
Thanks for sharing. We love that story.
Oh, man.
Play us out? I don't know what that means to play us out. What do you mean, in the show? All right, fuck it. We'll do it live. Hey, thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. If you like what we're doing here and you want to participate in this community, there are many different ways that you can contribute. First and foremost, tell somebody about the show. Word of mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you for helping us out. If you have any funny military stories of your own or know somebody who does, with their permission, of course, you can contribute those stories via email at stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. Or if you're not too good at the internets, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. That's area code 531-222-6146. 846. That's right, we're giving away our phone number. We want funny military stories from all eras. So if you're not from a generation that's heavily online, we don't want there to be a barrier for participation. We have a lot of big plans for this show and building this community to support veterans. We will announce here soon, so stay tuned. All right, I'm going to go have a nice spicy bowl of chili. Later.